You know, I think that millennials put too much pressure on themselves to get the gifts that they think their partner wants because of the impact of social media.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. I've seen people affected more by a card than by a bottle of perfume.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Sky.
And I'm KJ.
And this is Millennial Love Stories. Let's see, a little bit about how we met. I first met the lovely and talented KJ Smith, season 2 of Sisters. I think we actually had the day we met documented on Instagram. And I'll tell y'all later how she played me.
No, tell the story. Okay, so what happened was I was vlogging at the time and we were getting ready for season 2 and he was a new cast member and I was kind of like just vlogging my experience and he was the first person that I walked up to and I was like, hi, what's your name and what character do you play on the show? And he said,
hi, I'm Sky and I play Jacoby.
And then proceeded to say,
Jacoby comes in and, excuse my language, shit up.
And I was like, so then I slid into his DMs.
No.
I did.
Let's stop. There was a curve before the DMs.
Ladies,
there
I
was a
slid
curve.
into his DMs.
So we were talking one night about just our grandmothers and our family and how much we love family and this, that, and the other. And I was like, hey, I'm about to go over here with one of the castmates, chill. And she said, oh yeah, well, hit me up on Insta.
Which I proved is a viable resource because I hit him up.
I thought it was a curve.
I hit him up on Insta and voila, what do we have here? Yeah! So when I said hit me up on Insta, I meant that. And I was waiting for him to hit me up and he never did. So technically you curved me.
No, I keep my job.
Technically you curved me. So anyway, that's that on that. And we're here.
And now we're here.
She said yes!
The first meaningful gift KJ gave to me was my alto saxophone. It was beyond meaningful because I pawned my alto sax to move to Los Angeles originally. And my grandfather, who raised me, I was raised with my grandparents. My grandfather bought me that sax when I was 11 years old. He told me that, if you get good enough, because I was in the band, if you get good enough to play Kenny G's In the Still of the Night, I'll buy you your sax, a brand new one. And I studied and I was, and won competitions and he bought it for me. So about cut to when it's time for me to move to LA, my parents were the happiest that I was going, but I was always headstrong. But I pawned my sax because I said I wanted to earn it. I pawned my sax to buy a ticket to LA. And when and I always said I would repurchase the sax after my grandfather passed. And I was talking to her about it on the phone when we first started dating. She found the sax and bought it. And I was wrong. I mean, I just had tears down my face. She has a video on Instagram of me playing the sax. That was the day she actually gave me the sax.
Yeah.
Last year for my birthday.
The first most meaningful gift that he gave to me was he threw me this big birthday extravaganza that I had no clue about. It was only my close friends. It was a whole ordeal. It was like a photo shoot and a surprise and breakfast the next morning. And it was just beautiful. And again, I'm a planner, so I'm used to planning things. I'm not used to someone doing something for me. So it was so meaningful because I literally just showed up and I had no idea about it. And he had orchestrated all these things behind the scenes. And it was just so beautiful and thoughtful. And I just was it was amazing. But this is the most meaningful to me because this is symbolic of our future, is symbolic of where we are and where we're going and the unit that we're building and the partnership and the friendship and the love that we have. So this one is by far the best and most expensive gift he's given to me.
I think that millennials put too much pressure on themselves to get the gifts that they think their partner wants because of the impact of social media.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
So I would say this, like, obviously Kay and I are together, Valentine's Day, and I was like, dang, what am I gonna do? And da-da-da-da, and I was working, and I was like, well, I see this, and I see that, and I was like, stop. Like, what is thoughtful? What means something to the both of you? Yeah, there are roses, but it was like, okay, cool, what does roses mean? Like, what does it mean? What do you, if you know your partner, like, yeah, I know she likes roses, but if I get a rose for every day we're together, that means more.
Yes.
So it's easy to go out, especially if you have it, take your girl to dinner or buy her like some expensive jewelry, but we see that on Instagram. Yeah. And we're trying to live for that because we may think our partner want that, and sometimes it's just like, yo, just listen to me. And that would mean a lot more if you got me something that I actually would have never gotten myself, or if you put thought into it.
I think millennials, get caught up in
the show.
And a lot of people, honestly, they just give up. I've seen people affected more by a card than by a bottle of perfume, So I just, I really, we are mastering listening to each other, and it's done wonders because, I have to step out of my brain and say, what did he say? Didn't he say he liked, okay, what's the musicians? Like, we are so like, I have a note tab where I'm like, what is your favorite musician right now? Okay, what is that song he likes? Okay, and like, I'm always like, because even if I don't do it today, I have my notepad, and when it's time to do it, when it's a holiday, when it's, I'm meeting his family, or when I'm like, oh yeah, that's auntie. Oh yeah, so this is the auntie, and this is his cousin. Like, when he's telling me stories, because it's those things that matter. The problem is people get stressed out because when the big day comes, everyone's like, everyone's at the mall. Everyone's in most times the gift isn't there. The gift isn't there. The gift is something that we've discussed intimately. It's something that his friends have access to. It's something that a friend of a friend knows about, and you have to listen in between the moment. And then that is going to work. With
KJ, I know, honestly, if I really wanted to make her happy after a shoot wrapped, the gift that I would buy her, out of everything, and I know she's not going into anything else, would be chicken wings and french fries, and assorted chicken wings and french fries.
It's my favorite food.
And that's not expensive.
No,
you feel me?
Just my favorite.
It's just happy. Yeah, it's just like you observe your partner after, and if you really are in tune and really want to make them happy, and it's not about you feeling validated, because that's a lot of times we buy gifts for other people for us.
Tell him, Daddy.
Instead of for the person. I want to feel validated, so I'm going to spend this $500 on this perfume. Yeah, I just bought you some Baccarat. Cool, but what does she like to scent, bro?
Ooh, that's good, baby.
You feel what I'm saying? Oh, I got you some YSL heels, but she wears sandals.
So my advice is listen in between time, because honestly, every moment is special with your partner. For us, every freaking moment is special. That's why even on Instagram, I was like, every day is the 14th. I never feel like, oh, this is a big day, because every day we celebrate each other. And this is no gas, this is straight facts. Every day we celebrate our love, every single day. Like, that's just not something that we're gonna go without doing, because that's a gift. Like, him being in my life is a blessing every day.
I agree. And the only thing I would piggyback on that and say is, as you listen, observe.